I'm going to show you how to make a very traditional Spanish tortilla now. Lots of different versions of this, but we're going to go with a very, very classic version today. It can be served either hot or cold as a little tapas. First thing that we're going to do is into our medium-sized frying pan over a decent heat is a generous glug of Don Carlos pure olive oil. Just wait for that to come up to temperature. And then I've just basically peeled some medium-sized potatoes, tried to keep them more or less the same size as they cook evenly, and in they go. Now just make sure that they're spread out evenly. Like I said, lots of different varieties of tortilla. I think it should just be cooked very traditionally with basically some good quality olive oil like Don Carlos, some potatoes, a little bit of salt, and obviously your eggs at the end. Very, very simple and traditional. So keep those potatoes moving for a good 3 or 4 minutes until they all start to take on a little bit of colour and cook through. Now just keep your potatoes moving around. And we're just going to cook those over a low to medium temperature for a good 7 or 8 minutes, just as they cook through nearly to the centre, and then they'll finish off as we pop our eggs in there. Now our potatoes have been cooking away there. I've kept them moving constantly, and you can see they're nice and soft. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop them into a little strainer. Now you could, if you wanted to, just add a little bit of garlic or a little bit of maybe finely diced onion to those potatoes as you fry them to add even more flavour. As I said, I just prefer classical, but feel free to extend your tortilla as you see fit. Now eggs, I'm going to crack them into a bowl. And just basically bring them together. If you're making something like this where the eggs are the main ingredient, maybe try and splash out a little bit extra and go with some free range eggs, because it really is all centered on the eggs and you'll get that sort of nice extra flavor in there. Now, bringing our pan up to sort of a medium to high heat. Still got a little bit of the oil in there. Very important that you're using a non-stick pan for this, or else you're going to have all sorts of trouble. Strain off your potatoes, pop them back in there. And this is the crucial stage now. This is where you really do need to pay a little bit of attention. So just spread your potatoes around. And we're going to go in with our eggs. And the key at this stage is just to keep that mixture moving. So just ensure that it's moving at all times. Scraped off the edges. And just distribute your potatoes evenly so as everybody gets a nice fair share of their potatoes once we cut this up. We're going to turn the heat right down, and we're just going to let that set naturally. Should take about maybe 90 seconds, 2 minutes. As I said, the heat's turned right down. It's just going to gently cook up from the bottom, and we should end up with a lovely tortilla. Now the omelet's been cooking there for about just under 2 minutes. Just loosen it up around the edges. Now a little trick, our plate, we're going to pop it on top of the omelette and just in one smooth motion flip them over like that. Just give it a little shake and you'll see that it looks absolutely perfect. So just going to shake them into the center. Now we're going to leave that whole, as I said today, but you could just as easily chop it into little pieces, serve it as a tapas, maybe with a little dip. But if you wanted to pop that out into the center of the table, maybe with a little simple green salad dressed with a little Don Carlos olive oil, a perfect little Spanish tortilla.